The mistake that changed everything. Anna gripped the cleaning cart tightly, her knuckles pale against the chrome. Her heart thudded faster than her footsteps as she pushed the cart through the towering glass doors of Sterling Industries. It was her third week on the job, just another quiet, invisible maid. No one ever noticed her. That's how Anna liked it. But today was different. The top floor, executive level. She wasn't supposed to be here. A mix-up at the janitor station. Her co-worker had called in sick, and the supervisor, barking orders and waving keys, shoved Anna toward the elevator. Clean Suite 47, CEO wing. Be quick and don't touch anything. That was it. No explanation. No warning about who Suite 47 belonged to. Anna had nodded, too timid to ask more. She needed the hours. She needed the money. Her younger brother Luca's epilepsy meds weren't cheap, and their mother worked double shifts just to keep the lights on. There was no room for error. But now, standing inside Suite 47, Anna realized this was no ordinary office. It was a throne. Glass walls framed a panoramic view of the skyline. A sleek black desk sat center stage, its surface almost too pristine. Designer furniture, hand-painted art on the walls, and silence thick enough to make her feel like an intruder. Still, she got to work. Polishing, wiping, vacuuming in short, careful bursts. Then she saw the photo frame tucked behind the desk phone. It was the only personal item in the room. A young boy and a woman smiling beside a man in a dark suit. The man didn't smile. His eyes were familiar, sharp, cold. Damien Sterling. Anna's hands shook. Her breath caught in her throat. She was standing in his office. The CEO, billionaire, tech legend, known for firing people over a missed comma. Employees gossiped about him like a myth. He hadn't been seen in the building in over a month. Rumor was he was overseas on a private deal. But before she could even react, the door opened. Anna flinched. She whirled around, and there he was, Damien Sterling. In the flesh. Tall, dark-haired, dressed in a jet-black suit, with no tie. Shirt collar open, sleeves rolled up. His jaw clenched as he stepped in like a storm cloud had just entered the room. Anna's breath stopped. His eyes found her in an instant. "Who the hell are you?" His voice was calm, but it cut like a blade. Anna dropped the rag in her hand. I'm just the cleaner. I didn't know you shouldn't be here. I was assigned this suite. I swear, I didn't touch anything. Who assigned you?" he snapped, walking past her. "This office is locked for a reason." She backed away from the desk. "The supervisor Martache told me to come here. I just followed." He ignored her. His gaze dropped to the desk, then narrowed. The corner of a manila folder stuck out from under the desk, pad barely visible. He pulled it free, flipped it open, and instantly froze. A beat passed, then two. The tension in the room thickened. This page wasn't missing before, he muttered. His voice dropped to something darker. Anna blinked. What? He held up the folder, pages fluttering in the air. "There's a contract in here. NDA, confidential terms. One page is gone." Anna's legs weakened. "Sir, I didn't open anything. I didn't even know someone was in this office," he said coldly. "And now it's you." Her voice cracked. "No, please." He looked up, stared straight through her. "You need to leave." Anna grabbed her cart, her ears ringing, her body numb. She couldn't tell if she was about to cry or pass out, but she fled. Didn't look back. Later that day, Anna paced in the break room, still shaking. She didn't know if she was fired or just lucky to escape. The other maids whispered around her, but no one knew what had happened. No one dared to ask. She was about to leave when Marta cornered her by the lockers. "What happened up there?" Marta hissed. "Why did security come asking for your ID?" Anna's face went pale. "What? They said you accessed a restricted area. That something's missing. You didn't take anything, did you?" "No," Anna gasped. "I didn't even open a drawer." But Marta wasn't listening. Her expression changed. "You better hope they believe you," she said, and walked off. Anna leaned against the locker, her knees trembling. Then her phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Behind Tower B, 7 p.m. Come alone. No police." Anna stared at the screen, heart slamming against her ribs. Was this Damien a threat? A trap? She should have ignored it. She should have gone straight home. But she needed answers. She needed to clear her name. 7:03 p.m. Behind Tower B. Alley was empty. Dark, silent. Anna waited, hugging her arms tightly. Then she heard footsteps. A woman emerged from the shadows, red coat, sunglasses, tall, graceful, confident. "You're Anna?" the woman asked. Anna hesitated. "Yes, you don't know what you walked into." The woman handed her a small folded note. "Someone stole that page. It wasn't you, but they want Damien to think it was." "Why?" Anna whispered. "Because that missing page contains something explosive, something that could ruin him." "I don't understand." The woman leaned in closer. "There are people in his company who want him gone. They're framing you. If you don't disappear quietly, they'll make sure you go down with him." Anna's mouth went dry. "You're saying they'll what?" "Arrest me if you're lucky," the woman said. "If not," she didn't finish the sentence, just slipped into the shadows and vanished. Anna stood there, stunned, still holding the note. It read, "Don't go home tonight. They're watching." 8:21 p.m., Anna's apartment. Anna didn't listen. She had nowhere else to go. Her brother was there. She took the side streets, checked over her shoulder 3 times. Everything seemed normal, but when she reached her apartment door, her heart stopped. It was open, just slightly ajar. She stepped inside slowly, calling out, "Luca." No answer. The living room was a mess. Drawers pulled out, couch cushions ripped open. "Luca," she cried, racing to the back bedroom. Empty. His bed was untouched. The window was cracked open. Then her phone buzzed again. Same unknown number. "You were warned. Stay quiet if you want your brother back." The billionaire's ultimatum. Anna stared at the glowing screen in her trembling hands. "Stay quiet if you want your brother back." Her knees gave out, and she sank onto the torn couch, barely feeling the springs jab her side. Everything looked foggy, her living room wrecked, the walls too quiet. "Luca gone. Gone. No screams, no struggle. Whoever took him knew what they were doing." She tried calling his phone straight to voicemail. She tried again. Nothing. Her breath came in short, shallow gasps as she clutched the phone, replaying the message over and over. Every instinct screamed to call the police. But if they were watching her, "Don't go home tonight. They're watching." That woman in the red coat, who was she? How did she know so much? And why was Anna the one being targeted? All she'd done was clean the wrong office. 9:02 p.m. The knock at the door jolted her upright. 3 sharp taps. She froze, didn't breathe. Then another knock. "Anna," a low voice called through the door. "It's Damien Sterling." Her chest tightened. She opened the door just a crack. He stood there in a dark coat, looking deadly serious. He wasn't alone. His driver stood a few feet back, arms crossed. "I need to speak with you now." She hesitated. "Why are you here?" "Because your brother's missing," Damien said, "and I think they used you to get to me." 30 minutes later, inside Damien's car, the luxury SUV cruised down the empty road. Anna sat stiffly in the back seat beside Damien, clutching her hands in her lap. He hadn't looked at her since they left. "Why me?" she finally asked. "I'm no one, just a cleaner." "You're quiet," Damien said. "Forgettable, easy to use. The kind of person no one notices until it's too late." Anna frowned. "So I was, bait. More like a distraction." His voice was flat. "They knew if they sent someone obvious, I'd see it coming. But an innocent maid making a mistake, that's believable." "Someone took my brother," she whispered. "They tore apart my home. They left me a message. They knew I'd come back." "I know," Damien said. "And they want to scare you into silence." "Why?" He turned to her for the first time. "Because the missing page contained the names of every secret investor in a massive offshore project. Billions involved. Some of them ... dangerous people." Ina's heart pounded. "I didn't take anything," she whispered. "I swear, I know you didn't," Damien said. "I had your background checked. You're clean. Your family's barely getting by. Your brother's been in and out of hospitals for years. You'd never risk him." His voice softened, just a little. "But they don't care about that. They want leverage." Anna turned to face him. "Then, help me, please." Damien exhaled slowly, staring out the window. "If I go public with this, it'll trigger a scandal. Our stock will crash. Hundreds of employees will lose their jobs. I can't make a move without proof. Then what do we do?" He looked back at her. "We find out who took the page, and we get your brother back." Midnight secret apartment. Upper City. Damien brought Anna to a hidden penthouse apartment owned under a shell company, completely off the books. "This place is secure," he said. "No one knows I use it." Anna stared out at the city lights, feeling the weight of her world crashing down. I shouldn't be here. I don't belong in any of this. Damien watched her for a long moment. My mother was a cleaner, he said quietly. Worked 2 jobs, just like yours. I haven't forgotten where I come from. Anna looked up, startled by the hint of humanity in his voice. Then the door buzzed. Damien answered it. A man entered, tall, sharp-dressed, carrying a black case. Marcos, Damien said. Ex-Interpol. He works for me now. Marcos nodded at Anna. We're going to find your brother. But first, I need you to tell me everything. Every single detail from the moment you entered that office. Anna replayed the Duther misassigned suite, the folder, the woman in red. When she mentioned the note that warned her not to go home, Marcos's expression changed. Did you keep the note? She pulled it from her pocket. He scanned it, then held it under a small blue light. Invisible ink glowed. Eyes inside sterling. Trust no one, not even him. Marcos looked at Damien, then back at Anna. Whoever wrote this thinks someone in your inner circle is involved. Damien's jaw tightened. I have 3 people with access to that file, he said coldly. If one of them sold me out, I'll destroy them. Next morning, Sterling Industries Damien returned to the building. Anna stayed in the apartment under Marcos's protection. Back at HQ, Damien summoned his inner circle. 3 people. Vanessa, his icy blonde executive assistant, 10 years of loyalty, but lately more distant. Julian, head of cybersecurity, brilliant, nervous, overworked. Eleanor, legal counsel, calm, calculated, and dangerously smart. I need answers, Damien said, tossing the file folder on the table. Someone accessed this without authorization. The last page is gone, and now an innocent woman's brother has been taken. Julian, blink it. You think one of us? I don't think, Damien said. I know the file was tampered with, and there were no logs of entry only. Someone with direct access could have bypassed the censors. Vanessa raised an eyebrow. You trust a maid's word over ours? Damien's voice dropped. I trust evidence, and the fact that whoever took that page had enough power to erase their tracks. He paused. Someone in this room is lying, and when I find out who, they'll regret it. Meanwhile, Anna and Marcos back at the safe house. Anna paced restlessly. Do you think my brother's okay? She asked. Marcos nodded. If they wanted to hurt him, they would have done it already. He's leverage. They'll keep him alive. Anna sat down, exhausted. Why me? She whispered again. Why not some intern or assistant? Marcos paused. Because you're invisible. No one watches a maid, but someone did. Someone in that building was watching you, tracking you. He turned his laptop around. A blurry surveillance image from the hallway outside Suite 47. A woman, sunglasses, red coat. Anna gasped. That's her. That's the woman who warned me. Marcos zoomed in, trying to enhance the face. Who is she? Anna whispered. Marcos didn't answer, because he suddenly recognized her. But if she was involved, then this wasn't just corporate sabotage. This was war. Later that day, Damien's office. Julian approached Damien, pale and sweating. I ran a trace on outgoing data. There was a transfer just after the page went missing. To where? Julian hesitated. To a device registered under a fake name. But the location was in this building. Which floor? Julian swallowed. Yours. Damien's blood ran cold. The leak came from inside his office. But the only person in his office that morning was Anna. No. It couldn't be her, could it? The secret inside the Safina's hands trembled as she held the phone. Time's up. If you want to see your brother again, bring the CEO. The message echoed in her head like a scream underwater. Bring Damien. Why would they want him? Across the room, Marcos stood still, reading her expression like a seasoned interrogator. What did they say? Anna didn't answer immediately. She slowly handed him the phone. Marcos read it, then looked up at her sharply. They're escalating. Anna clenched her jaw. They said I have to bring Damien. Marcos muttered something under his breath. It's not just about the file anymore. Anna stood. Then we have to go to the police, or the media, or something. No. Marcos was firm. If they're this bold, they have reach, connections, possibly within law enforcement too. Going public without a plan could get your brother killed. Anna's voice cracked. So what? We do nothing. Marcos paced. No, we do something smarter. He tapped his earpiece. Damien, change of plans. They want you, alive. That tells me one thing. He glanced at Anna. They're not trying to kill you, Damien. They're trying to trade. The same time, Sterling Tower, private elevator. Damien stepped into his private elevator, jaw set like stone. He'd just come from reviewing server logs. More evidence had surfaced. Someone had remotely accessed his encrypted personal safe the same morning Ain was in his office. The access code had been changed. The security footage gone. And yet, something didn't add up. Why use AI? Why make the theft look like her mistake, only to kidnap her brother later? Unless... He clenched his fist. This wasn't just a data leak dart, it was personal. Back at the safe house, I'm going with you, Anna insisted. No, Marcos said. You're the only one keeping Damien out of their trap. If you walk in with him, they might just take both of you. Anna stood her ground. You said yourself they think I'm disposable. They'll kill Luca if I don't go. Marcos narrowed his eyes. She wasn't the scared maid he'd first seen anymore. There was fire in her now. He exhaled. All right, but we do it my way. Later that night, abandoned shipyard. Dock 12. The kidnappers chose a location straight out of a crime thriller. Dark. Foggy seagulls squawked above twisted metal and rusted chains. A single flickering lamp lit the narrow path to an old office building perched on the water's edge. Anna, dressed in black, stood beside Damien, who looked out of place in his sharp-tailored coat. Marcos stayed in the shadows, armed and watching. Through a sniper scope from the adjacent warehouse roof, a man stepped out from the building. He wore a sleek suit and an earpiece. Anna, Mr. Sterling, how kind of you to join us. Anna's breath caught. She recognized the voice. Julian, she said. You. Damien's head whipped around. My head of cybersecurity. Julian smirked. Ex-head. Let's just say, I received a better offer. Behind him, two masked guards appeared, dragging someone between them. Luca, Anna cried. Her little brother, gagged, pale but alive, stumbled forward. Let him go, she shouted. Julian raised a hand. Soon, but first. Mr. Sterling and I have some unfinished business. Damien's eyes narrowed. What is this really about? Julian chuckled. You built an empire of secrets. Some of us got tired of being your shadow puppets. That missing page, it listed more than your investors. It listed offshore bribes, shell companies, names you paid to bury deals. Anna looked at Damien in shock. That's not true, Damien said tightly. Julian held up a flash drive. This says otherwise. Then he looked at Anna. And you, my dear, were just the perfect smokescreen. Julian snapped his fingers. One guard pointed a gun at Damien. The other shoved Luca toward Anna. Marcos's voice crackled in her earpiece. Wait for my signal. Not yet. Julian smiled. Let's trade. Damien gives me access to the vault. I walk away. You two leave with the kid. Everyone wins. What vault? Anna asked, heart racing. Damien didn't answer. His jaw was locked. Julian stepped closer. The one under your alternate identity. The hidden vault in Zurich. The real evidence is there. Give me the key. Anna looked at Damien, stunned. There's more. Julian growled. He's been keeping secrets for years. Even his own board doesn't know. Suddenly, Marcos's voice whispered through Anna's earpiece. Now. Chaos. At Dock 12A, silent pop rang through the air. One of the guards dropped hit with a tranquilizer dart. Julian spun around. What the? The other guard fired wildly toward the shadows. Anna tackled Luca to the ground, covering his head. Marcos leaped down from the scaffolding like a ghost, disarming the second guard with practiced ease. Julian fled toward the back exit, but Damien was faster. He caught up, grabbed him by the collar, and slammed him against the wall. You tried to destroy everything I built, Damien hissed. Julian gasped, struggling. Because you destroyed everything first. He pulled something from his jacket, a small remote. Too late, he whispered. He pressed the button. Back at the safe house, moments later. Anna held Luca tightly as medics checked him over. Damien walked in, his face like thunder. We recovered the drive, he said. But Julian activated a failsafe. It wiped the Zurich vault's location. Marcos added, the good news, he didn't get away. And he'll talk. Anna looked at Damien. Was he telling the truth? About the bribes? The offshore accounts? Damien paused, then sat down across from her. I built this company from nothing, he said. After my father died, I made hard choices. Not all of them clean. But I've never sold out my people, or traded lives. Anna studied his face. She believed him, but something still didn't sit right. What about the woman in the red coat? She asked. She knew everything before anyone else. Marcos frowned. I've been trying to identify her. Facial scans hit a partial match with someone who died 5 years ago. Who? Damien looked confused. You don't mean Marcos pulled up the scan? The match was 89% accurate. Alina Sterling, Damien's wife. Anna blinked. I thought she died in a car crash. She did, Damien said. I buried her myself. But he didn't sound sure anymore. The woman behind the curtain, the morning air over the city felt sharp. Electric. Anna stood on the balcony of the hidden penthouse, her fingers curled tightly around the railing. Her brother was finally safe, asleep inside on the couch, but her thoughts weren't resting. They kept going back to her. The mysterious woman in the red coat, the one who warned her, the one who disappeared into shadows. And now, Marcos was saying it might be Alina Sterling, Damien's dead wife. No one had said the words out loud, but the truth was circling closer like a hawk. Damien entered the room behind her, quiet, thoughtful. Are you all right? He asked. No, Anna said honestly, because something's still off. That woman, she wasn't trying to hurt us. She was trying to help. Why? Damien exhaled slowly. Alina was brilliant. Too brilliant. She saw things I didn't. Trusted no one, including me. Anna turned to him. Then, how do you explain this? She held up the surveillance still of the red-coated woman. Damien took it, stared. She died 5 years ago. Car went off a cliff in Switzerland. Body was barely recovered. Barely. Anna pressed. There was a ring, a blood match. Enough for the authorities to declare it closed. But not enough for you to be sure. Anna said quietly. Damien didn't answer. Because for the first time since this all began he wasn't sure. Later, that day, Marcos's intel. Marcos returned with a lead. Encrypted communication, he said, showing Anna a device. It came from an old satellite phone registered in Eastern Europe. Guess whose alias it was registered under? He tossed a file onto the table. Alina M. Sterling. Damien's face went blank. She planned this, Marcos continued. Faked her death, erased her past, then started leaking intel through proxyizing people like Julian to expose Sterling Industries from the inside. Anna shook her head. Why? What did she want? Control, Damien said quietly. She never liked how fast I grew the company. Thought I made compromises, chose power over people. Marcos nodded. And maybe she's trying to take it all back, or burn it down. Damien muttered. Did the email that night, an untraceable email, hit Damien's private server? To Damien. I never meant to hurt Anna or her brother. But you left me no choice. This empire was built on silence. It's time someone told the truth. Meet me at the old estate. Come alone. If you want to stop what's coming. Anna read the message over his shoulder. You're going, aren't you? Damien looked at her. I have no choice. Anna reached for his arm. Then I'm going to Sterling Estate. The final confrontation. The Sterling Estate had been abandoned for years. A massive property surrounded by stone walls and thickets of trees. It had once been the heart of Damien's childhood, before money turned it cold. Anna stepped through the broken gate beside him, heart pounding. The air was still, almost too quiet. They walked through the main doors. Inside, dust floated in sunlight from broken windows. Portraits hung crooked. The silence felt like it was holding its breath. Then hello, Damien. The voice came from the second-floor balcony. Anna looked up and saw her. Red coat, sunglasses, gone. Pale, sharp-featured face, framed by dark hair, streaked with grey. It was Alina. Alive. Damien didn't move. Why? She stepped down the stairs slowly, carefully. Because I spent years watching you lie to the world, she said. You made it all look noble, clean. But underneath, I saw the rot, the bribes, the payoffs, the secrets buried in vaults. You were part of it, Damien said. I was, until I realized I didn't want our son growing up in a world built on lies. Anna's breath caught. Son, Alina looked at her, then at Damien. He doesn't know, she said. I was pregnant when I disappeared. You were too consumed with your offshore projects to notice I was slipping away. Damien's mouth opened, but no words came out. Elena's voice softened. I gave birth in Prague, raised him under a different name. He's 7 now. Anna could barely breathe. But why come back now? Damien whispered. Alina looked him in the eyes. Because I want our son to grow up with a choice, not buried under a name like Sterling. not forced into this empire of corruption. You kidnapped a boy to make your point, Anna snapped. You used my brother. Elena's voice broke. I had to. I couldn't risk contacting Damien directly. I needed him desperate enough to listen. I'm sorry, Anna, truly. Damien stepped forward. This ends now, he said. No more games, no more pawns. You want justice. Take the boardroom. Take the company. But don't drag innocent people into this. Elena studied him. For the first time, her anger dimmed. I didn't come to destroy you, Damien, she said. I came to test you. She pulled out a hard drive. This is everything. The missing documents, the names, the payments, the deals you never wanted public. Anna stepped forward. Why give it to us now? Because Anna reminded me of myself, Elena said. Before the money, before the betrayal. I saw how hard she fought for her brother. That's the kind of strength I want my son to know. She placed the drive in Damien's hand. What you do with this, she said, will define who you become. And with that she turned, walked through the door, and disappeared into the trees. 1 week later, Sterling Industries' press conference made international headlines. Damien Sterling stood in front of a wall of cameras and confessed. He exposed the offshore accounts, the hidden deals, the corruption he had inherited and allowed to grow under pressure from powerful investors. He released the documents Elena gave him. He stepped down as CEO and named Ana Castillo as his official public ethics liaison, a new position to rebuild trust between leadership and the workforce. Anna watched from the side of the stage, her heart pounding with disbelief. Her life had changed forever, from an invisible maid to the woman who helped bring a billion-dollar empire back from the edge of ruin. Final scene at the park. Luca ran ahead, laughing as he chased pigeons under the sun. Anna sat on a bench with a coffee, finally breathing easy. Damien joined her, dressed in jeans for the first time she'd seen him. He looks better, Damien said, watching Luca play. He's sleeping, eating, laughing again. Anna smiled. He's okay. They sat in silence for a moment, then Damien spoke. Elena sent me a photo yesterday, he said softly, of our son. Anna looked over at him gently. What will you do? I don't know, he admitted. He doesn't know I exist yet, but I'll wait, and I'll be ready when he's ready to know me. Anna nodded, then smiled, because, somehow, after everything she wasn't just a maid anymore. She was a survivor, a fighter, and a name the world would remember. The end.